Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Seek, Go, Create. For anyone who's listened to our podcast, you know that one of the things I really love to do is just do a deep dive. I like to have conversations with people that have great stories that redefine success in leadership and in business and ministry. And one of the things we've noticed is that those episodes can be somewhat long at times. We can go 50, 60, sometimes 70 or 80 minutes long. And so we're going to try something new, and I want you to participate in this. We are going to do what we're calling SGC Focus episodes, and that's what this is. And we're going to be releasing those on the first Friday of every month. And what we're going to be doing is attempting to give some highlights of some previous episodes, maybe the months before, and also just some previews of the upcoming episodes, maybe a few other items, learning points, teaching points, so that you could get it in a focused, short episode. So I hope that that works well for you. What I would love to do is hear feedback. And I'll tell you at the end of this short episode how you can do that. But we want to know from those people that are in our community how well this works for you. So anyway, welcome to the focus episode of Seek, Go, Create, SGC Focus. First thing I want to do is give just a brief kind of learning points and what all we saw for the last 4 or 5 episodes, and maybe you can go back and do a deeper dive into it or listen to it. But early in the month, we interviewed Joe Fier, and Joe has a phenomenal story, and we had such a great conversation about connection. And we really thought that we were going to be talking a lot about marketing, but we really went even deeper than that and talked about how important connection is as it relates to marketing. And we had a lot of great stories, a lot of techniques, but it was primarily about the philosophy. And if some of you are struggling with your marketing not working, or you're doing all the things you think you're supposed to do with your marketing for your business or ministry or organization, you need to listen to this full episode, because what we discuss on how to connect with people was powerful, I believe. And there was one great tip that I picked up from it, and that is sending follow-up emails to people with a video attached. And so I'm attempting to implement that. So that was a great episode. That was Joe Fier. You could go do a search on our episodes for that. It was Why Genuine Connection Matters to Hustlers with Joe Fier. We also had a conversation with Katie Hornor. She and her family live in Mexico. She is an international businesswoman, but it was a great story in just overcoming failure to succeed and how failure leads to success. Her and her family initially went to Mexico as missionaries in the ministry, and through a series of events, didn't seem fortunate at the time, it led them to starting a marketing business, which then led to a very specific niche business in the area of homeschooling. And it has led to now international events and teaching and coaching that she is doing. And I loved the conversation. She's got such a sweet spirit, such a great heart, and such great nuggets that we got from that episode. And so do a search on From Ministry Worker to International Businesswoman, Mixing Faith and Business with Katie Hornor. And then we had an episode with Rashawn, Copeland, and boy, it was wide ranging. He claims to be an online pastor. That's what he calls himself. And he is making love go viral. But his background, we had such a great conversation. He was a hype man for Soulja Boy. So we conversed about that. He also was at one point shot and left for dead. He has a story as a youth of being sexually abused. He has a new book out that we discussed, but I can guarantee that if you listen to this episode, regardless if you're in business, ministry, you're a person of faith or not, whatever, you're going to get loads of value from this episode. The thing that I got from it was just being present and intentional about your online presence, because he has over 20 million followers on his online presence. So make sure you listen to the episode Making Love Go Viral with Rashawn Copeland if you want a deeper dive into what we discussed. And then finally, the last episode that we had in the month was with Mark and Crystal Hansen. And let me just give you a little bit of who Mark Victor Hansen is. He was one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul. He has sold over 500 million books through that franchise, I guess we can call it, or system. And on the episode, we talk about that system. I love systems as a systems engineer myself, my training. And we discussed systems that they had in place for that, for people to bring stories to them, the pros and cons, the challenges that it had with it. We talk about the issues with partners, because he and Jack Canfield, they had a great partnership. They still do, but the challenges of the super success that they had with that. We also discussed their new book, Ask, and one of the things we go into are the key things that we individually and collectively as a society need to be asking ourselves right now. One of the things I learned from this episode was that I need to refocus myself on living a long, fulfilling life, because they're talking about living to well into their 100s. They're very intentional about it. And they use goals to do that. And I've always been a big goal setter. At times I've gotten away from it, but we talk about goal setting and the importance of it. So what I took away from that episode was, number one, thinking big, and number two, using goals to implement some big thinking strategies. So do a search on Mark and Crystal Hansen's Secrets to Inspired Storytelling and Marriage, and I think you'll get a lot out of that episode. And one of the things I guess I want to do is give you a preview of some episodes that are coming up soon or have just been released. We had an interview with, it was, I'll call him a young gentleman in his mid-20s, and we talked about maximizing your wealth potential through intentional living. And this episode is going to be so powerful because this young man, Caleb, he started in the banking industry when he was 19 years old. And so at 25, he's got a great deal of experience. And I think you're going to want to listen to that episode that's coming up. So maximizing your wealth potential through intentional living with Caleb Williams. I had a great conversation that's going to be released in November on, it was really a discussion about what we can learn from the homeless population. That was with Glenn Dunsweiler. And it was just fascinating. He actually has interviewed and spent a great deal of time documenting the homeless population. And anyway, I'll leave that episode for you to listen to, because there's a lot of wisdom we gleaned and were able to get from that conversation. And then, sometimes I'm in my, I'll say my mid to late 50s. Sometimes we look at the younger generations and we really question their motives and what they're doing. And I had a conversation with three young men that are on a startup business team. Two of them were in their dorm rooms or their dorm apartments. One of them had just graduated from college. They're with the Savvy dating team, and they're developing a dating app. And we had such a great conversation. And I will just tell you that when I stepped away from that interview, I said to my wife, the future is going to be a-okay with people like this leading and doing what they're doing in business and leadership. So anyway, I enjoyed the conversation greatly. And then another episode that's coming up, I interviewed Quan Hin, and Quan spent 22 years in prison. And we have this discussion. We talk about how prison life changed him, the realization that he came to in prison. And I'll just go ahead and give a glimpse into, he actually shot and killed a man. That's why he was in prison. It was a gang-related murder. And we have a lot of discussions about that. Plus, you don't want to miss, in December, we're going to be doing something very special. The entire SeekGoCreate team, which is a lot of family, Dulcie, Hunter, JK, and my wife, Glory, we are going to be doing some special and unique episodes around the holidays and the end of the year. And so you don't want to miss all that. So hope that gives you a little glimpse of what's coming up. If you are listening to this on your podcast platform, then what you need to do to make sure you don't miss that is subscribe. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of those upcoming episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, go hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when new episodes are being released. And here's the big thing: if you really want to stay connected to our team and what's going on, go to our website, SeekGoCreate.com. That's SeekGoCreate.com. And put your best email address in. If this is the first time visiting the site, there should be a bar up top. Put your best email address in, and then we'll keep you updated. We won't load you up with emails, but once a week, typically once a week, we just give you an update on the episode that's released that week with a little more detail. And then once a month, we're doing kind of like a focus, just like this episode, kind of like a focus report, so that you can get a general overview of what we've done and where we're going. And we'd love for you to connect via email that way. So just a few other, I guess, kind of announcements from the Seek Go Create family and our team. We had an absolutely massive, incredible month of October. It was our 1-year anniversary, and we've done so many new things. We had a YouTube channel that we launched that was around October 1st. If you haven't subscribed, like I just mentioned, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're actually watching this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We actually have a Seek Go Create store now, where we've got merchandise, and we've got t-shirts and sweatshirts and long sleeves and some coffee mugs. So make sure you go grab any of our merchandise. I really love how it turned out. You know, my son, JK, kind of handles our branding, and he's an artist and author and kind of a traveler, and man, he does so many great things, and he has really done a great job with our brand. And I'm looking forward to wearing the shirts and taking advantage of it. And I think you should too. If you need to know where to go, we'll include some links down in the notes, but just go to SeekGoCreate.com and click on store. And just another shout out and thank you to all of you. Our numbers increased, our download numbers increased over 300%. Yes, that I said that correctly, 346% during the month of October. Thank you. I am so grateful for all of you that are listening and subscribing, and especially sharing. And you know, another thing that just blows me away is that we are now, I think the United States is still our top country, but there are many of you listening now in India. Our top 2 countries are the United States and India. Plus, we have a lot of listeners in the top 10 are Australia, Pakistan, Bangladesh. I'm reading this list here. United Kingdom, Brazil, Canada, Kuwait, and France. Those are top 10. I mean, I am just amazed that we can just have that reach. And my desire is just for us to help you redefine success in your life, whatever that means. We're doing it obviously in big picture leadership, ministry, and business. And we talk a lot of business. We talk a lot of all those topics, but we really desire for you to be all that you can be, whatever that means. So we hope that you're plugging into the things we're doing on either our channels or podcast or on our website. And I just appreciate you. I just want to tell you, I am so thankful for you participating in what we're doing here. Sometimes when you kind of sit behind the mic or in front of the camera, all you look at is I'm looking at my screen right now, and I'm looking at this dot, and you don't see people out there, but I just appreciate you so much. And what I would really love to do is hear from you. First of all, to get feedback on all that we're doing, but specifically, what about this SGC Focus episode that we're doing? And so I just want to encourage you to give us some feedback and communicate with us. First of all, if you have questions, comments, feedback, please give us that. If you are watching this on YouTube, it's pretty easy. Drop down in the comments on this video and just give us your feedback and say, hey, it's great, or I don't like it, or it needs to be longer, or whatever. That would be excellent. If you are on our website listening, then all you have to do is go down to the comments down at the bottom scroll down at the bottom of the page for the episode you're listening to. And then also, if you're in a podcast platform, you can actually go give some reviews and feedback. And we would just love to hear from you. I welcome it. And so please do that. We're also on all the socials. We're Seek Go Create. So just interact with us. And I just want to tell you, continue listening, continue sharing, and continue communicating with us, because We are, as we head into the end of 2020, I know a lot of people are excited about ending this year and moving into 2021. We're going to be talking a good bit about that, especially as we move into our December episodes. So stay tuned, subscribe, and let's finish up 2020 with a bang. And let's get ready to make 2021 our best year ever. So thanks for listening, and let's continue being all that we were created to be.